See, the allegation now you are leveling against Mr. Khemka. I just for the sake of arguments, even if we admit everything to be true, even if it is true, the question is the irregularities and illegalities which have been pointed out by Mr. Khemka, do they get diluted by mere fact that he had some bias against the government? Number two, the question that you have asked, this three-member committee was constituted by the Haryana government to examine the objections raised by Mr. Khemka. This three-member IAS officer committee gives a report within few hours, I think it's within 1 or 2 days, without even calling Mr. Khemka, without even informing Mr. Khemka, what to talk of hearing him, giving him an opportunity to explain his point of view. Third, when Mr. Khemka starts writing about the report, just a minute. When Mr. Khemka started writing his note, he requested the Haryana government kindly supply me these files. And none of the files were supplied to him. He makes a mention of those files in his report.
Now the argument is...
So this Haryana government's only attempt in
the argument is...
somehow or the other to give a clean sheet to Mr. Vadra and suppress...
One second, gentlemen, one second. Mr. Surjewala, 1 minute. KTS Tulsi, welcome to the debate. Now, there is another point, though I will go to the politics of it is more significant, or whether the Congress can distance itself. You see, there is a check number 607251, yes, which is a check number, right? Now, that check number which is paid by Vadra, is that check true? Is that check false? Is that check legal? Is that check illegal?
Check is nowhere.
So, where is the check?
50 crores.
So, where is the check? So, my question is to Mr. KTS Tulsi, these are the issues that one should look at before castigating Khemka, isn't it? You have been lawyer in this case, but you also would agree these are the details that need to be answered. Mr. Tulsi, in the Robert Vadra case.
Arnab, I have not been able to understand the entire question because the connection is very bad. But what I want to say is that up till now, according to the law, it's not a crime to buy land, nor is it a crime to sell land. It's not a crime to pay before the sale deed. It's not a crime to pay after the sale deed. It's not an illegality even, what to talk of a crime. It's not a crime to forward sell the land even before the sale deed is registered. And it's not, so we can't change the law for the purpose of...
Mr.
Section 82 of the Registration Act, Mr. Tulsi, just for a second. Under Section 82 of the Registration Act, if you give false information, if you suppress information in the sale deed, it is an offence. And this offence, the punishment is up to 7 years. In this case, material facts have been suppressed, wrong information has been given, no consideration has been paid, this check shown doesn't exist at all.
Which material facts?
With due regard to you level a completely incorrect allegation.
Which material facts?
The officer decided the inquiry 2 hours, while ample time was spent, over 2 months were spent in the inquiry. Mr. Khemka was given ample opportunity.
Mr. Khemka was not heard. Mr. Khemka was not heard. Randip Surjewala, what are you saying?
He was not heard at all.
Mr. Khemka was not heard.
He was not heard at all by the three-member committee.
That is also a complete lie.
And there was Mr. Surjewala.
They are going to
Mr. Surjewala.
And I also want to tell you, Jain Saab, it is the same Mr. Khemka, and it is within your knowledge, when your government was in power in Haryana, was transferred 6 times.
Mr. Surjewala, are you saying, Mr. Surjewala, Mr. Surjewala, I don't allow that. No, 1 second, I must come in at this stage. The one thing we don't allow on the news, 1 second, Mr. Surjewala, listen to me, please, 1 minute. What I'm saying is one thing. This argument I don't believe in. Your scam is bigger than mine. Your scam, my scam. You transferred, I transferred. We keep transferring, we keep exploiting the system. It doesn't hold. The question is, there was no response from this so-called committee's chairman who was requested by Khemka to inform whether any representation, appeal or complaint was received from Robert Vadra or DLF or Omkareshwar Properties against his orders to cancel the mutation. There are some very solid facts here, Randip Surjewala, which we are asking on the basis of. But I go back to a more political point, Mr. Surjewala, you tell me. You tell me, Mr. Surjewala. No, Mr. Surjewala, no, one second, Mr. Surjewala, I want to...
Order that was valid in law.
Mr. Surjewala.
Can he institute roving inquiry by ordering collector of roads to look at land deals of one individual in complete...
Mr. Surjewala, on Times Now, I go to the political question. Political question is this, please listen to me.
And if you do so, and if you put your reply on Wikipedia first and to comment later, are you being fair and just? Way that we are going to run it?
Well, let me tell you one thing. You know, the fact is documents related to Vadra and another deal with DLF, which India Against Corruption raked up, have been in public domain and reported in the media for a long time before the BJP picked up the issue. No. So don't look at it politically. Don't look at it politically. And I think the BJP is also taking... My question is political. If Hartosh, you know, has there been an unwritten truce, Hartosh, between the BJP and the Congress? And I'm being very candid, you know, because of, for example, you know, other people's names who have come up. You know, Ranjan Bhattacharya, for example.
Sure.
Right, Ranjan Bhattacharya's name came up in several, you know, allegations in much the same way that, and Ranjan Bhattacharya, for all our viewers, is foster son-in-law of Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Absolutely.
His name cropped up in several cases in much the same way that Robert Vadra's name has cropped up in recent. Is there an unwritten understanding between the two political parties of this country not to touch each other's family members?
Of course. I mean, look at the fact that Ranjan Bhattacharya's clout seems to extend into this Congress government. He is named prominently in the Radia tapes.
Oh, yeah, he does.
As interceding on behalf of certain people with the family.
Oh, yes.
Now, if you look at this whole issue, we have lawyers jumping into the question of criminality, deciding for us whether this is an illegal act or not. But much before that, what we have before us is the son-in-law of one of the most powerful individuals in this country, Sonia Gandhi, the Congress president, gains benefits or seems to have gained benefits from a Congress state government, and a senior official of the government is making these allegations. If on this basis we are not willing to inquire and investigate the matter and discuss it in Parliament, then we have lost something important in terms of public morality in this country. It doesn't matter what the BJP thinks or the Congress thinks. This is about how citizens of this country perceive. So
this can't be a private deal.
Political class. No, and it doesn't matter.
So it can't be a private deal between Congress and BJP, right? On whether or not, you know, the...
No, absolutely.
And I remember exactly, and I think we should call a spade a spade. Satyapal Jain, you won't like it, but I must tell you this. You ask Vinod Mehta, and you ask Hartosh Singh Bal, who knows Vinod Mehta well. What happened on 29th of May 2001, when the Outlook office was raided, the Outlook magazine office was raided 3 days after allegations against Ranjan Bhattacharya surfaced in their article. So, Mr. Satyapal Jain, you see, there have been attempts to intimidate the media also when it's been reporting upon the family members of powerful people. And I'm sorry to have to say this in your case as well. Your track record is not too bright, Mr. Mr. Satyapal Jain. You will concede that. You will concede that.
No, see,
you will concede that, I'm sure.
The question is, the question is that now, in the present case, a report by an officer who is an IAS officer, who is not a relative or who is not a patronage or who is not anything to do with any political party, has come on record. It is a counter report to 3 IAS officers' report submitted about the case. This case is a case of evasion of stamp duty, misrepresentation of the facts, concealment of facts, and according to Mr. Khemka, even documents have been forged. Wrong information has been given. This is a case which has no parallel in the entire judicial history, so far as I am concerned, my knowledge goes. Well, I have never seen a case where in such a case there is a document which has been forged. A check has been shown which doesn't exist, and of the amount of rupees 7.50 crore. Can we brush aside all this scandal just by saying that there was some attempt earlier also?
Well, I don't think there can be. You can't wish away the present by invoking the past. No, you can't.
Wash away the criminality.
No, you can't wish away the present by invoking the past. You can't do that. So there has to be an open discussion on this. Let's see if it happens in Parliament. We are following the story. As of now, it appears the government is defending Robert Vadra. the Congress is distancing itself from Robert Vadra, which I find interesting at both levels. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 2 on the News Hour tonight.